flex your fandom by owning the greatest moments from your favorite players and teams. Your collection can even earn you a once-in-a-lifetime, money-can't-buy experience. NBA Top Shot users have recently attended private events with superstars like Klay Thompson, rising stars like Cade Cunningham, and even all-time greats like Magic Johnson. During NBA Top Shot's Holiday of Hoops, you can win your share of thousands of dollars in NBA tickets, jerseys, NBA Top Shot packs, and other amazing prizes. It's an NBA fan's dream. Sign up at NBATopShot.com today for your chance to win. Rep your team, flex your fandom, and own the greatest moments from the NBA exclusively on NBA Top Shot.
American Express Jersey Assurance is here to help fans. Listen to this. If you purchased a jersey from the NBA store using your American Express card and your player switches teams within 1 year of purchase, you can get a free replacement jersey. Pretty cool, right? Just make sure you use your Amex card and request a replacement within 14 days of the trade, and you can keep repping your favorite player no matter what the team. Terms apply. You can learn more about Amex Jersey Assurance at nbastore.com/Amex. You back your team, we back your jersey.
I'm out, baby. I'm on vacation. So don't hit me. Don't hit my assistant because she on vacation. And I'm about to do rich. So if you don't like that, unfollow me. Don't worry about it. But I'm out. Bye.
Good morning, world! Happy Hanukkah and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Monday, December 19th, 2022. I'm JD Skeets here in the yard, and alongside me, thanks to the power of technology, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you!
There he is, and filling in for JD all week long, live from Toronto. We think he's in the background. Oh, there he is. He's on camera. It's Jerome. What's up, Jerome?
Not much. Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
Great. Happy to get through this week and get to our holiday.
Look at this. This guy's creating custom cold opens. JD leaves for a week, and Jerome steps in with the custom JD.
We're gonna try to check in with JD. Hopefully, he'll send us a couple of clips to see how we're doing, and if we get that, I think we got a few more cold opens along the way to see how JD's doing on his trip.
God, I can't wait. Yes, JD hopping around Europe with his family for the Christmas holidays, and Trey, not in Europe, he's in Chicago. I mean, it's basically one and the same. He's back with his family. I think he drove up there yesterday, the long drive from Atlanta. So just Tass and I here to break down the NBA all week long. Of course, Jerome can chime in whenever he wants. Shout out to the stream team. Fingers crossed. We're live on YouTube right now. I think things are good. Comment away, like the video, subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com. You can tweet them in at No Dunks Inc. I assume, Tass, with only two of us, we got to hit the beach at some point, right? Especially getting cold weather here in Atlanta. Hit the beach.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so. I hope my Wi-Fi stays strong here through this week. Because so far today, I heard Jerome talk about JD there, but then you guys were gone for a good 20 seconds. I don't know what you were chatting about. But either way, it's like a normal show. I'll just chime in when I chime in.
Okay. I mean, you're coming in crystal clear right now, but yeah, you never know with the yard. I feel like they've made some upgrades, but it all comes down to the Wi-Fi capability. Though you said you're hardwired in too, so I don't know what's going on your end. Of
course, I'm hardwired in. I'm a professional, but my hardwire's not working. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as we go along here.
All right. Well, we got a merch alert. Yes, new merch available over at nodunks.com. I want to say just in time for the holidays, but damn, we're cutting it close. Just in time for 23. Let's put it that way. A limited edition Christmas Wedgie t-shirt. Look at the front and back there, Tass. Got the little ornament instead of the ball wedged in to the rim in the backboard. Some holiday lights around the backboard and like that little snow cap on the back of the shirt on the No Dunks. I mean, that's good stuff here for Breaking Tea. So this is available until the end of 22. So you've got 11 or 12 days here to go grab this one.
Great description there, Skeets. I like the breakdown of that entire shirt. Yeah, it's a little late for Xmas, but just in time for Kwanzaa, perhaps. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, and when's Armenian Christmas is like January 6th or something, 5th or 6th, right?
Well, yeah, others call it different Christmases.
Sure.
Armenians also celebrate it. Yeah, it's the old calendar Orthodox Christmas. It's our annual question. When is it? Is it the 6th? Is it the 7th? Some cultures do it the 6th, some do it the 7th. I don't know. Yeah. Some just get I'm taking those days off as I said last week. The Greeks take it off. No, I won't. I'm powering through. I celebrated on the 25th, like we all should. I think.
There you go. There you go. Well, hey, I can guarantee you that if you want that new limited edition Christmas wedgie shirt, buy Armenian Christmas or whatever you want to call that Christmas there in January, you can get it in time. I will almost guarantee you that. At least if you're in North America. I don't know about international, sometimes it's a little longer. Anyway, also got one more gift idea for you, especially it's like last minute, and you can get this one instantaneously, and that is giving the sports fan in your life the best newsroom in sports. So I'm talking about an athletic subscription. You can go to theathletic.com/no-dunk so they know that we sent you. It's like $1.99 a month. You can get your different, packages, 3 months, 6 months, up to a year, and then gift that to somebody, a sports fan in your life on Christmas Day or whatever you're celebrating. Bob's your uncle. So go take advantage of that deal. All right. Before we get into the winners and losers of the NBA weekend, and there are a lot of them, we had a wedgie. Another weekend with a wedgie, which is fantastic because we're selling another wedgie shirt. And this one, Tass, in overtime, down one, Kemba Walker, who had a monster game against the Cavs, sticks the wedgie with less than 13 seconds to go in the overtime period. This will be in the running, I believe, for wedgie of the year.
Pretty neat from Kemba Walker to come back here and stick a rare overtime wedgie, number one.
Yep.
Number two, coming from Kemba Walker, who has one of the rarest of wedgies, a free throw wedgie in years past when he was with the Charlotte Hornets way back when. He hit a free throw wedgie on a technical free throw. So he's got some rare wedgies in his bag. And it's great to see Kemba come back, a 30-plus point game that we'll discuss a little later on.
So that is wedgie number 19. Everybody can go check it out at wedgietracker.com, and hopefully we get some more this week. And then we're fingers crossed for a wedgie on Christmas Day like we had last year. I believe it was, I want to say it was Alec Burks that got the Christmas wedgie last year in that Knicks game. I'm pretty sure that happened. Okay. Tass, winners of the NBA weekend. My God. We got a lot of hot teams in the league right now. We had some killer performances. Where do you want to start? Who's your big win of the weekend? Tass is maybe there, maybe not. Oh boy, he's frozen. Oh boy, he's not moving. Oh boy,
Here
he's
we
gone.
go. Here we
there
go.
He goes back.
Oh, sweet mother of mercy. I don't know what's happening here, but I'm back, baby.
Okay.
I'm back.
Why don't you get started with
stronger than ever. Yeah, sorry about that. Great suggestion here. We need a wedgie Xmas ornament from Ziggy. Too late. Next year. Good thinking, though.
Good idea.
Very good thinking. Let me jump in right here. It was a great weekend for basketball. Obviously, the ridiculous Jokic line that we'll get to. He snuck in there on Sunday night. A 40, 27, and 10. What? But I think because there's so much going on with the World Cup that just finished, congrats Argentina, with all these bowl games happening, we had an incredible performance on Saturday night. I think fly under the radar a little bit. And we've got a real rivalry between the Pelicans and the Suns that's happened pretty organically. It started last year in the playoffs, and then the Pelicans beat them twice last weekend, sealed with a kiss by Zion Williamson's 360 windmill dunk when there was no need for a shot there as the shot clock was off, and everybody pissed off about it. But then Devin Booker this weekend in the fourth matchup between the Pelicans and the Suns this weekend, it looked dire for the Suns here. They're down 24 Booker. This is literally a put your team on your back type of performance. He dragged them back in this game. I don't know if you're watching Saturday Night Skeets. There's so much going on, but he had 20 in the third quarter and then 16 in the fourth quarter to finish with 58 points on 35 shots. He saw his team was down. He could have easily had 60 if he could hit some free throws, but he had everybody on him. And we're talking about really good defenders here in Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. Even Dyson Daniels got a turn. Jose Alvarado, obviously a little too small. That's when Devin Booker pulled out the too small. everybody trying to go at Devin Booker, but this team desperately needs him because of no Ayton in this game. Jay Crowder has been out, obviously. Cam Johnson, his replacement, has been out. CP3 is not himself. If this team is going to get to the same level as they were last year, especially because I think CP3, even though he chipped in this weekend, he's not himself. It's got to be Devin Booker elevating his game. And this truly was a, hey, I'm a superstar, and going up against another superstar where Zion Williamson had 18 in the fourth quarter himself, because the Suns, as great a defense that they have, they couldn't stop Zion Williamson. So this was just a phenomenal, quiet game, sort of between two rivals, that ended with Devin Booker scoring 58 stinking points, 6 threes. And if he hits some of those free throws, he was 10 of 15 from the line. He has a 60 mark, and maybe that gets some more headlines on a very busy weekend in sports. But it's pretty cool. These two teams have played already 4 times, so they're done with their season series. But the Suns are 18 and 12. The Pels are 18 and 11, and they're just back, barely back of the Memphis Grizzlies in the West. But a true rivalry, a real rivalry that's been born just out of a playoff series, really. So it's pretty neat how this is developing.
Yeah, a playoff series, and then of course, like you said, what's happened over the last couple of games with the breaking of unwritten rules. I don't know what rivalry is better right now, the Suns and Pelicans, or Tass versus his Wi-Fi connection / hardwired computer here, because he is gone once again. But I'm glad we're starting with Booker there, because I think Tass made a good point as we try and get him back, that there was so much going on. The guy drops 58, and it's like, very easily lost to a lot of people. At least it could have been. But my God, I'm just more upset that these teams are done playing for the regular season already. Like, what? It's December 19th. They played 4 times. That's it. They hate each other, but we got to hope that they somehow meet now in a playoff series as we welcome Tassie back in here. I was just saying, I'm pissed that they're done their regular season series. Yeah. And that we now just got to pray they meet in a first round or a second round series, because I think it is, right now for this season, it's the best rivalry in the NBA between these two teams.
Agreed. And the Pels, I think, have some things to clean up a little bit, even though, they spent some time in first in the West. I think they know that they could just focus on some things, like getting back on defense when there's transition happening. They're 20th in allowing points off turnovers. And in this one, the Suns had 10 offensive rebounds in that game on Saturday night. And they're surprisingly, the Pels are 17th in defensive rebounding percentage. So when Jonas goes off the floor and they're relying on Larry Nance and Zion, they don't grab the boards that they should. So they're sort of middle of the pack and can be better on defense. But you're right. It's kind of stinky that we don't see them the rest of the season. They're all done in December here. But, it's like it feels like Zion's going to develop rivalries with every team in this league because he's so damn good, and everybody's going to try and stop him, and they can't. And even the Suns were having trouble. So I don't know. It's the Zion coming out party here, and it should be fun the rest of the way.
I wish there was a way. I know it's impossible. I mean, the schedule makers already have what feels like an impossible task of fitting all these games in, trying to reduce back-to-backs and not too hard of schedules where you're on the road for 15, 10, 16 days. But I would love if we could do this thing, task, where it's we play the first month or whatever, month and a half, and we keep Christmas open, the 5 games on Christmas Day, somehow open, that we could then have the league. And I don't know if fans are voting too, whatever, but it's we could slot the 5 games in for the unofficial start of the NBA season to get as many eyeballs on the game and have these rivalry games and just have these marquee matchups. And it's oh, this team's hot. This would be awesome. They're taking on this team. That would be so cool if we could somehow do that. To make Suns Pelicans the 8:00 start on Christmas Day. But, that's never happening. But man, I can dream, that's what I'm asking for Christmas.
That's pretty smart. I don't see why not. I understand you can't because you promote it, but right. still, and you see actually all the promotional materials, the ads for Christmas Day start with Golden State, Memphis, and Steph Curry is out and he won't be playing. Yeah. They need a Jerome who's as nimble as bringing in a JD type cold open to change it just on the fly. I don't see what the deal is. It's I understand it would suck for the players big time if they, if their schedule changes a week before. But it's part of the gig. And I hear what you're saying. It would be great to see that game over Memphis Golden State, unfortunately, with what's happened.
All right, let's keep it going here. I'm going to give winners of the weekend to both teams in New York. I can't believe it. Let's start with the Brooklyn Nets. On Friday night, Kyrie hit his first game-winning buzzer beater of his career versus the Toronto Raptors. That caught me by surprise.
Surprising, yeah.
Like, what? His first game-winning buzzer beater? But it is true. Huge, dirty, cold-blooded step-back three on the Raptors. They win 119-116. Kyrie was awesome in the fourth quarter, 15 of his 32. I thought Nick Claxton was awesome in this game for the Nets. Now, a part of that is because they're going against the Raptors, who don't have a defensive center, and Claxton 15-10, 6 blocks, so he was doing work inside. So they get the win against the Raptors. We'll get to them later in losers of the weekend, unfortunately. But then on Sunday, Kevin Durant took over. He scored 26 points in the third quarter. That was a career high for most points he's ever had in a quarter. So a bunch of weird firsts here from these superstars on the Nets. He finished with 43 as the Nets sort of scraped by the Pistons 124-121. They were down 19 points. Looked like the winning streak was going to be snapped. Instead, they earned their 6th straight victory. And there they are, Tass. The Brooklyn Nets, sort of comfortably, I want to call it, in 4th in the East. They're a game back of Cleveland. 3 games back of the Bucks Celtics at the number 1 spot in the East. And, the more we see them play and the less we hear from them for a bunch of other reasons, the more you can convince yourself like, oh my God, this team, I wouldn't want to try and have to beat them 4 times in a playoff series.
I don't want to talk about them, Skeets, but it's hard to not talk about them with what they're doing out there. They're getting complete team performance. They really do buckle down on the defensive end, which is kind of surprising. That they are playing like a unit. It is weird to see them, all 5 guys on a string, and then they bring the ball up and they have their 3-point shooters in the corner, the shooter in the corner, and others just doing their job. Yeah, they look like a ball club. Yeah, they look really great. Obviously, the schedule has helped out a little bit, but yeah, you're right. Claxton was big. Yeah, they've hit their stride.
And very painful for Raptors fans to have Yuta Watanabe, dropping threes on their head too in that first game there on Friday night. Also, KD, just a quick note, he passed John Havlicek and Paul Pierce on the NBA's all-time scoring list. So Kevin Durant is 16th all-time in points scored in the NBA. And he's going to pass Tim Duncan here in the way KD's scoring, he's going to pass him in possibly 2 games, almost guaranteed 3 games. So KD will be up to 15th by the end of the week here, probably, Tass. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what was more surprising when I saw that Paul Pierce scored that many points. Yeah. I don't know, just kind of that also, there's an underappreciation for Paul Pierce just because he was so good, but not ridiculously exceptional at anything. But also the Kevin Durant, just the mum on Durant, that we just don't talk about him a ton, right? Yeah. Seemingly that's how it works.
Yeah, the Paul Pierce, you're right. I agree with that. It was like, what? I mean, he's that high. And I think a part of it is like Paul Pierce was never the best player in the league. He was probably top 5 at his peak. At least top 10 for sure. But he was never the best. Paul Pierce never had a year where everybody was like, yep, it's Paul Pierce's year. Like, of course, he never won an MVP and just was never really in that discussion. But he just racked up all these points over a very long career. And KD will pass him, or just pass him, and Tim Duncan is next. Okay, let's get to the Knicks, though. One of the other teams on a winning streak here. 2 more wins, both on the road for the Knicks over the weekend. They crushed the Bulls on Friday night. Oh, my God. Who's worse, the Bulls or Raptors right now? It is.
Yeah, it's a great fight. Can't wait to talk more about the Raptors next segment. How fun.
Oh, boy. And then the Knicks, this was a really impressive win, I thought. They rallied to beat the Pacers 109-106 on Sunday. This is yesterday. That's their 7th straight victory. So one of the hottest teams in the league. Randall, 25 and 14 in that game. He hit 6 free throws in the final minute. He was money at the line to get the win. RJ Barrett, he struggled from deep. I don't believe he hit a 3, but he still finished with 24 points. He's on a nice little sneaky run right now. He's averaging 25 and 6 over his last 5 games. We know him as a scorer. Maybe doesn't do a whole lot else, but he's playing his part. He's hitting enough shots. And then Jalen Brunson. Oh, my God. I love this guy. He's got the dog in him. It's such I can't believe some of the takes people had when the Knicks signed this guy. during the offseason. It made me question whether these people even watch Jalen Brunson and sort of like, are you really watching the NBA? Do you know how important it is to have just a stable point guard that can actually score for you and is just like a rock? And this guy, 30 points. And really, Randall gets a lot of credit for that stat line yesterday and the free throws, no doubt. And I thought he played really like scrappy defense too. But the comeback started with Brunson. I was watching this game on Sunday. They're down 6 points. Not a whole lot of time left. Brunson hit a 3 and then immediately after got a great steal and a layup in transition. And that's 5 points. And just like that, it's only like a 1 point game. He did it in 24 seconds and it gave themselves a chance to win it. And they did. So this rotation that Tibbs has found, Tass, and you talked about Grimes has got to play. Grimes has got to play. Well, it's those 3 guys, Randall, Brunson, and RJ. Obviously, your scorers for the most part. And then it's 2 defensive guys. It's Grimes, 30 to 35 minutes a game. And then it's Mitchell Robinson, 30 to 35 minutes a game. Mitchell Robinson's actually playing, knock on wood. You know, he has a stretch here where he's playing and giving them exactly what he needs. You know, then quickly comes in off the bench and like they get a couple more contributions. That's the lineup. 3 scorers, 2 defensive guys, and then a little bit from your bench. And they're playing defense to win these games.
Yeah, and there's even some balance on the bench when they come in with the old defense offense. You got Quickly and Deuce McBride coming in as the backcourt, and Deuce McBride, great article from Fred Katz about him and how he goes up against Quentin Grimes one-on-one in practice to work on their defense. And it is wild to think about where they were when they were 10 and 13. They were 26th in defense, and now they're 8th. What a climb on the 7-game win streak, because Tibbs has committed to playing young guys and a guy like Grimes who doesn't need shots. They're 9 and 5 when he starts games. I think he really helps out, hits big threes, just waits for others to create. And Randall has been so good. And the point about RJ Barrett doing it quietly is a good one, because when Randall takes on the pressure and Brunson takes on the pressure like he was going to do when he signed that contract, because he's Jalen Brunson, and he proved that when he was with the Mavs, the pressure's off RJ Barrett when those guys are going really well. And then, when they're playing D like that with the starters, and I say McBride is their defensive guard, but Quickly, or off the bench, I should say, he's their defensive guard off the bench. It's true, but Quickly has also been scrapping. They're all sort of fighting, even without Obi Toppin in the lineup. They found a rotation, and Tibbs can't mess this one up. He can't bring back Evan Fournier, can't bring back Cam Reddish, can't bring back Derrick Rose. But yeah, they're like we've talked about the Nets. They just found the right lineup here. It is true. Sometimes it takes 20 games, but yeah, 23 games in, bang, here they are, 7-game streak.
I mean, it's really just hold your breath that Mitchell Robinson keeps playing, though, too, because this happens all the time with this guy. Everybody gets excited. He's contributing. They're winning because they're playing defense, because you've got him back there. And then he just, like AD, which we'll get to. I mean, this guy just is like injury prone. He will always go down with a rolled ankle or something with a knee or something. It just happens all the time. So, Knicks fans are praying that it doesn't. Their next 4 games, by the way, they got the Warriors, the Raptors, the Bulls, and then the Sixers on Christmas Day. The Knicks do, all at home, all in MSG there. So I think it's unlikely. I don't know. Those are not great teams, especially the Warriors on the road. So I guess they could have a 10-game win streak heading into the Christmas Day game versus the Sixers. It's possible.
It's totally true. They have taken advantage of some easier games, but they're hanging on. And even last night against the Pacers, they fought back. They've shown some resilience, just like my Wi-Fi is showing resilience here, just like Mitchell Robinson is showing resilience. Well, yeah, it's an odd thing to be hanging on with this Wi-Fi. I believe in this Wi-Fi. I've got fiber running through the dirt around my house, trying to fortify my Wi-Fi. But I think even though you bring up Mitchell Robinson hanging on, I think they've done pretty well with the Jericho Sims, bringing him into the rotation too as a backup big. So it feels like, we'll get to Anthony Davis a little later on. Feels inevitable AD goes down. Feels inevitable Mitchell Robinson will go down. I think they're happy with Jericho Sims and Isaiah Hartenstein coming in to fill that void, and Obi Toppin coming back too. So you're right. They could be streaking. They're playing D. It's a Tibbs team all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks winning a bunch of games in a row. The Nets winning a bunch of games in a row. And I know your next winner, arguably the hottest team in the league that no one saw coming the Orlando Magic, who also can't lose.
Yes, it's odd. But to start this, I'll start it with a Fultz, a Banchero, and 2 Wagners with their bowl walk into a bar. And this is what happens. That's what a lousy joke to start. But it's just, I like mentioning those names off the top because those are their starters. Markelle Fultz is back, baby. Paolo Banchero, their star. And the 2 bros, Mo Wagner and Franz Wagner, along with Bol. They're a huge team. They've won 6 in a row. They beat the Celtics twice this weekend. The Boston Celtics. They go into Boston and win twice. They are 1-11 on the road coming into this weekend. 1-11. Then they beat the Celtics twice in Boston. Now, Friday, the Celtics working Rob Williams back into the lineup. He comes back. He makes his debut on Friday. Part of that is why I think they shot so poorly, just trying to figure things out with Rob Williams, but also the Magic's length. They are huge, and the Celtics shot 46 threes, I think partly because of that length. That's a lot of threes. They only hit 11 of them with 7'2" Bol out there, Mo at 6'11", Banchero at 6'10". Franz is their smallest of the 4 at 6'9". He's their shooting guard out there, along with Markelle Fultz, who's 6'3". But they play hard. Those guys aren't, an incredible amount. Is an incredible amount of playmaking amongst those 5, but they can be pests and they can force you to shoot threes. And through their win streak here, they've got a top 5 defense. So 6 games, 5th best defense, because they found a little bit of a rotation and they know how to piss people off. Even Al Horford. Al Horford got tossed for hitting Mo Wagner below the belt on Friday because Mo Wagner can be a pest. So then we go into Sunday, throw that one out. Let's see what happens on Sunday. Well, Jason Tatum sits, and again, the Celtics shoot a ton of threes, 47 threes, and only hit 12 of them. So a little bit cold. Again, the Rob Williams thing is a part of it, but both games shooting between 20 and 25% from 3. Goes down to the wire. And again, not a lot of creation in their starting lineup or from their bench, frankly, besides Paolo Banchero. So 30 seconds left, up 1. They go to Banchero, who can create for himself. He's so good. Throws his huge body into a defender and is nimble enough as he drives to stop, get the footwork down, and put up a shot. He missed the shot, but this team is so scrappy. The smallest guy on the floor for the Magic, Markelle Fultz, grabs the rebound, and with 15 seconds left, they get an extra possession. They seal it at the line, and Banchero, the star, to go along with those guys, had 31, 6 threes himself. They are 6-4 with Markelle Fultz since he's returned. And obviously the run is the huge part of it. They started 0-4 with Markelle Fultz, but have gone 6 straight. And just a team that's really scrapping. And I keep on saying that they don't have a lot of shot creation. Cole Anthony, Terrence Ross, Mo Bamba, Kevon Harris, Admiral Schofield. Yes, sir. Admiral Schofield hit 3 threes off the bench on Sunday. But I keep bringing that up because outside of Banchero, I don't see this offense scoring enough to really, be anywhere close to a playoff team. But him and Franz really are the guys that they rely on, and they need a little bit more shot creation around them. But they scrap, they fight, and as the Celtics found out, you can't just expect to win and beat this team. So the Magic absolutely rolling.
Yeah, no, they're fun to watch too, and you can see why a lot of people were like in the preseason picking the Magic to be like, ooh, maybe they're a sneaky play-in team. Maybe one of these really bad teams that can like surprise some people. And it started okay. We were very impressed with Paolo, and then some injuries hit them. They didn't have a lot of guard play. This is a big part, right? Fultz is back, Cole Anthony back, obviously Paolo. And so there is a little more creation, a little more shooting to go with all this height, Bol and all these guys. So it's nice to see them string some wins here together. And you're right. There's no easy wins in this league, it feels like, anymore. I did see a fun tweet that we could turn into a little trivia time here, Tass. The last time Orlando had a winning streak that was longer, who were the starters for the Magic? This is from Tim Reynolds, I saw on Twitter.
Wow, I don't even get the year. I just got to say
no. I don't. I mean, just think of the Magic
it was,
sort of.
So Dwight Turkoglu.
Yep.
Jameer Nelson.
Yep. Can you name the other 2
Courtney
starters?
Lee.
No, he wasn't, at least for this part, for this answer.
JJ Redick.
He's off the bench.
Rashard Lewis.
No.
Oh,
These are tough. You don't think of this guy as you think of this guy as a Warriors player before a Magic player. He won a dunk contest.
Jason Richardson?
Jason Richardson, yep. Started in that game.
This was early. So this
and
is
then and one more. I mean, maybe Trey's out on the water fishing for one of these.
Brandon Bass.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the last time Orlando had a longer winning streak. Yeah, those are the starters. Dwight, Turkoglu, Jason Richardson, Jameer, and Brandon Bass. JJ off the bench, Ryan Anderson off the bench, and Gilbert off the bench.
Gilbert?
Yeah.
Well, you forget about him as a Magic
player.
You do. So it must have been 08-09, I guess.
It could be right. Yeah, he didn't include the year, and I wasn't going to go check. A couple other winners here. We got to get to the Joker. Jokic with one of the dumbest looking box scores you're ever going to see. 40 points on Sunday, career high 27 rebounds in yet another triple-double to help the Nuggets beat the Hornets 119-115. They needed all of it to get by Charlotte. He is just the third player in NBA history to record at least 40 points, 25 boards, and 10 assists in a game, joining Wilt, who did it 4 times, and Eldon Baylor, who also did it. 40, 27, and 10 there, Tass. I mean, Wilt's the only other person to put up a stat line like that. And here's Jokic doing it. Stupid.
It is stupid. The Hornets, they need a big. They need a Thomas Bryant stopper. Thomas Bryant did a good job against Jokic on Friday night. We'll get to the Lakers. But Sunday, that's Jokic obviously doing whatever he wants against a tiny front line. It's cool because it doesn't even feel like he actually was trying to do that. He wasn't forcing anything. He's just that good.
Yeah, he had as a lot of people are pointing out in the stream team, he had a big beef at the half, which was really weird because I saw that he was credited for 20 rebounds at the half. Then I also saw 21 rebounds at the half, but it didn't matter. It was a whole bunch. Slowed down on the glass in the second half, but really sort of focused more on scoring to get his team the victory. In the past 3 games, Jokic has recorded a combined 108 points, 52 rebounds, 26 assists, and 11 steals in 3 games. And I saw Schumann tweeting that he just ordered a big old bucket of beer at the MVP table. Because he hasn't gotten up in 3 years, Tass. I don't know when he's going to break the seal. I tweeted, does he ever piss? Was he got a catheter? What's going on? Peeing in the bucket under the table? He never has gotten up from the MVP table.
Yeah, and it's fun in the Western Conference because they can make a run at the 1 seed. It sounds crazy, but he could pull up a throne, pull up his horse to the MVP table. He doesn't got to go anywhere. But if they actually make a run to the 1 seed, there's a chance. No, there's not a chance that he wins 3 in a row. It just doesn't feel like it's possible. But if the case is to be made, he's got to win the 1 seed. It's still possible, despite Jamal Murray not looking like himself and Michael Porter Jr. being out and them trading a lot of their depth and Monte Morris, that mistake. But they're still incredibly solid.
Another winner to Anthony Edwards. The Wolves are back to 500. So that's good news for them. They picked up 2 wins over the weekend over OKC and the Bulls. It was a good weekend to play the Bulls or the Raptors, let's be honest. On Sunday, though, Anthony Edwards dropped in a season-high 37 points, career-high 11 assist tasks. And he is looking a lot more comfortable with some space to play with. Obviously, Cat's still out. No Rudy in some of these games. Naz Reid, unfortunately, got injured too, but he was doing his part. And Ant playing on the ball more. Him and Russell doing this sort of tandem point guard, shooting guard thing. And Anthony Edwards, I know, was talking after the game, how much more he likes this, right? I got the ball every time. I can see everything. Instead, it was just me coming off a screen or coming out of the corner thinking I had to shoot. And now he gets to show off the playmaking chops here a little bit. And these are good wins for the Wolves. They need to get up there in the standings. And I love this. I love this, at least the idea of whose team is this? Is it Cats or is it Anthony Edwards? I think it should be Anthony Edwards. And I do believe they should try and get back quite a haul for Karl Anthony Towns. But anyway, they got the victories.
150 points against the Bulls. That doesn't happen a lot in the NBA, even despite the point inflation that we got going on. And Anthony Edwards always obviously feels ridiculously good with that space, as you said. D'Angelo Russell also looks ridiculously cool in those jerseys. I'm sort of up and down on those City Edition jerseys with the Tetris-looking colors on the front.
Yep.
And, the hair, he looked great. But, yeah, Ant needs the ball more in his hands. And that's what I think he expected coming into this, his third season, to take that next step. And it's happened sort of unorganically because Karl Anthony Towns is out of the lineup. So the ball is in his hands a ton, but it has to be in his hands more and more. And he's making a little case for the All-Star game as they, sort of right the ship. But it's up and down with that team.
I believe Anthony Edwards has a weird streak going right now. 16-game streak of 1 steal at least a game too, which I think is the longest current streak in the NBA. I saw that stat going around there. So he's getting at it on the defensive end, at least in terms of generating these steals. They're playing the Bulls there on Sunday, which, giving up 150 points. I mean, Matador defense, as people are saying in the stream team, which it absolutely was. But I like this Ant as sort of like the number one guy. And I like the ball in his hands a lot more because he can play make a little bit. Also, winner of the weekend, just to the floor, the design of that Spurs Heat NBA Mexico City game. I love this, Tass. I thought this looked sharp. These guys playing on Saturday down there in Mexico City. I think there's another shot here where you can sort of see some of the design by the 3-point line there as Strus fires up one. Just look great, Tass. I loved it.
Yeah, the Mexican heritage on the floor. It does look cool. I think every game, I don't want to be obnoxious, but I think it would be a little too loud. It would be
for every game. Yeah, this is a one-off thing here.
Just a fun time. Okay,
yeah,
because it's sort of the colors, even though it's a totally different pattern. It reminds me of the Pelicans within the Pelican within the 3-point arc.
Yeah.
That sort of the darker shade of brown to the lighter shade of hardwood, and and that one blends in even a little more. This hey, it's Mexican heritage. Totally fine with it. I thought it was the Day of the Dead. I thought I was watching Coco there for a sec. I loved. I did like seeing it.
I love
down in Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely popped. Any other?
Why was Jimmy Butler in Mexico City there walking off with a cowboy hat? He got a gift of a cowboy hat. I didn't understand.
Sure. I mean, he loves cowboy hats. Maybe he's in the Yellowstone. Yeah.
I think somebody may have just thrown it to him, I guess. But it was a gift apparently, but I don't know if it was a gift from somebody. I don't know. I was just confused. I just thought you might know. But
any other winners of the weekend? I know the Cavaliers could have been on the list here. Anyone else you got?
Well, I'll throw a quick one in here for Joe Ingles. Remember Joe Ingles? He used to play for the Utah Jazz. He played for the Jazz for a long time, and then he was traded to the Blazers in that deal at the trade deadline. Never played for the Blazers because he tore his ACL in January while playing for the Jazz. Well, he'll be suiting up for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight for the first time. He signed in the offseason with the Bucks, and he's a winner, obviously, because he's coming back. It was a long road to get back here. But also because I was watching the Jazz Bucks on Saturday night, and I was watching the broadcast of his old team, the Utah Jazz, and they were doing a little story on Joe Ingles and what he meant to their team. And the broadcaster said that Joe Ingles is absolutely ripped right now as he's gotten back into shape. And I thought Joe Ingles ripped. It doesn't 1+1 doesn't seem like they got a shot of him on the bench. If he's ripped, it's not showing in his face. He doesn't have a chiseled jaw. He's just old Joe. But I'm happy he's a winner because he's ripped, but also just because he's coming back. And there's a great story on The Athletic about Joe Ingles never shutting up with his new teammates. The question that Eric Name, writer on The Athletic, put to all his Bucks teammates was, when did you figure out Joe Ingles never shuts up? Because he's joined them just for a few months here, and they're all basically like, the day he walked in, honestly, he just won't stop talking. And he doesn't stop talking on the court either. And he's just seems like he's going to fit in pretty well with the Bucks. We'll see what he has physically. Yeah. But coming off the bench, playmaking and being a decent defender, shooting the 3 ball, he's a pest as well. So I think he'll fit in pretty well. And I'm sure he's sort of ingratiated himself into the team and the team landscape pretty well as well, because it's a perfect team, and the vets, making fun of each other. And like if he's ripped, I mean, anybody can get ripped. As Mr. TD is saying in the stream team, ripped for a dad bod.
Oh, okay.
I guess so, but he's also a professional athlete, so he's probably ripped. But I'm happy for Joe Ingles to be back. And I like when somebody is asked about coming back from an injury. A lot of dark days, but he is back playing the Pelicans in what is our pick and payoff game a little bit later on, because looking forward to Bucks Pelicans. I know it's unfortunate we don't see Zion versus the Suns, but it's kind of like Zion going up against anybody. Zion going up against Giannis tonight. Hello. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, you watch the Bucks bench after, if he does, Ingles knocks down his first three coming back from injury. They're going to go absolutely nuts because well-liked teammate, I think, in this league. And yeah, nice to have him back. So he'll make his appearance tonight, and we'll see how much time it takes him to shake off, I assume, some of the rust. But let's see that dad bod in action tonight. Let's take our first break, Tassie. We've been Positive Pete's here doing our winners of the weekend, but when we come back on the other side of this break, losers of the NBA weekend. Don't go anywhere.
Peloton, my old friend. Where are my notes? Oh, guys, yeah, here it is. It's always this time of year that we start thinking about what next year will bring. We start thinking about resolutions to work out more, but let's face it, they rarely stick. Hey, maybe you're the type that needs a little extra incentive to stick with your plans. What, living longer and looking good naked not good enough for you? Well, Peloton gets it, they get you, and they've got a gift for you. Get $200 off accessories like cycling shoes, heart rate monitors, and more when you purchase a Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread, and up to $100 off accessories with the purchase of a Peloton guide to take your workout to the next level. Make this first step toward achieving your fitness goals in 2023. And once you start, you'll see why so many people stick with Peloton, with a variety of workouts from cycling to scenic runs, boot camps to power walks. You'll find classes that work for you, taught by world-class instructors who know exactly how to get the best out of you. So don't wait. Get this offer before it ends on December 25th. That's less than 2 weeks away, right, Tess?
Yes, less than 2.
That's right. This expires on December 25th. Visit onepeloton.com. All access membership separate. Offer ends, again, December 25th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
Merry Sorbsmas! And a happy Sorbidays to everyone.
Yes.
It's not all sleigh bells and mistletoe out there. It's also picking out a tree bigger than your station wagon and having to figure out how to get it home. Or leaving your kid at home alone while you travel to France. And it's even accidentally becoming Santa when you put on his suit after he falls off your roof. That actually happened to a close friend of mine named Scott.
Wow.
Yeah. Haven't seen him since.
Jeez.
Got huge, man. Huge and old. Out of nowhere. Guy fell off his roof. Some of these guys Santa Claus.
Wow.
Nonetheless, you can fight holiday stress with Next Evo Naturals. Unlike other CBD brands, Next Evo's Smart Sorb technology delivers CBD to your system in as little as 10 minutes. Smart Sorb upgrades CBD's natural absorption power. It's scientifically formulated to deliver more CBD fast. The only brand clinically proven to deliver 30 times better absorption in the first 30 minutes. Yeah, that's Next Evo Naturals, baby. You can get smarter CBD from Next Evo Naturals and up to 25% off subscription orders of $40 or more at nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code NODUNKS. That's nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code NODUNKS.
Champions aren't born, they're made. And the secret to making your business reign supreme? Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere, whether you're selling warm-ups or wall hangers. It's time to start selling with Shopify. and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. With Shopify, you'll customize your online store to your brand, and you'll discover new customers, and you'll build the relationships that create diehard fans, like our diehard No Dunks fans. Shopify fields all the sales channels to grow a winning business, from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, even across social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Social media, hot right now.
Social media?
Big time. Social media
yeah.
is having a moment.
I've heard about this.
Yeah. And thanks to 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, Shopify is on your team every step of the way. It's a well-known fact that Jimmy Butler started selling $20 cups of coffee, no matter the size, in the NBA bubble back in 2020. But did you know that Jimmy brought his love of coffee and community to the digital world? Seriously, Big Face Coffee uses Shopify. Jimmy gets buckets, and Jimmy gets bucks with Shopify. When you're ready to take your winning idea to the world, team up with Shopify, the e-commerce platform powering millions of businesses down the street and around the globe. Try out Shopify for free today and start selling anywhere. This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. And sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/nodunks. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/nodunks to start selling online today. That's shopify.com/nodunks. All right, the boys are still here in the yard. Yes, Tass is here. I don't know if you did anything during the break. People were saying, hey, reset the router, man. That's what everybody was yelling.
That's what you got to do.
It's true.
That's what these ads are for. I played some hooky with my router there. See what happens. We'll see what happens here.
All right. Well, you're coming in nice right
Yeah,
now.
right now,
I was wondering, you said you were hardwired. I know you, I don't know, recently is maybe not the best way to put it, but you got a cat not too long ago. Is that little Sushi, that little cat gnawing away on some cords that you're not aware of?
Great question, Skeets. No, I'm quite aware of everything she gnaws on, but she's a gnar. There's no doubt. She's got some cables.
Oh no! How's she with the tree? She getting up in the tree at all, or messing with any of the stuff? Okay. Yeah. Well, I said something about the cat, and the cat was like, "Screw that! I'm going to take this whole operation down." Tess is completely frozen now.
Yeah, I'm frozen. Well, stop talking about my cat, my man.
I don't. Jesus.
No. Yeah, she's a gnar. There's no doubt. But let's see if she's here. No, she's not.
Okay.
We're all good, Skeets.
While we have them, let's go to our losers of the weekend. Why do you get us started, Tess?
Hey, are we back?
I mean, I haven't gone anywhere, at least I don't think. But you are back. I asked for a loser of the weekend. Well, who do you got?
Okay. Let me get this one in here first because I just want to make sure we do. Because Luka played Friday night and then he didn't play Saturday in Cleveland with just a random injury. And it sucked because he only goes to Cleveland once. And apparently Cleveland has the largest Slovenian population in North America. And wow. I'm sure they wanted to see him play. And it just stinks that he sat that game out. So terrible stuff. For Cavs fans, got to fix that. Just like I got to fix my Wi-Fi. I am going wild. I'm going to keep talking until I come back because I feel like I am going to come back. And here I am. So anyways, Skeets, you didn't miss anything. I think we're going to be fine putting this up as a podcast after the fact. So I'm just going to keep talking. Here's another loser of the weekend.
You know what's weird, Tass? I mean, I dare interrupt you. You're coming in fine. You're coming in crystal clear right now. You're talking away. You're lagging on your own end. Yeah, look, this is what happens when the boys get back in the yard, you know?
Makes no sense. It makes no sense. This Wi-Fi has been restarted 1,462 times. Anyways, I'm getting a blue light. That's my green light to go here. Let me give you another loser of the weekend. The Lakers. It feels weird calling the Lakers a loser of the weekend because they won 2 games. They beat Denver and they beat the Wizards. They've climbed to 13-16. But AD left that Denver game with a foot problem. He will be out a month or so with the foot injury. It's not entirely clear. It's kind of vague, even though it's been basically like 60 hours since he was injured. We haven't got a concrete report, but it's about a month. And this is a big point in the season here, Skeets. This is an inflection point. What's going to happen? AD is going to miss about 15 games.
Yep.
And the lineups with LeBron and 4 others not named Anthony Davis have not been all that good. But I think if your quick solution is, hey, they have to make a trade, I don't think they could do that right now. I don't think in this very, very key part of the season where the guys are working around LeBron, and I'll get to the games and what happened this weekend. I don't think you could just throw in a new piece into this very key part of the season without Anthony Davis, because you could literally lose 4 or 5 quite easily, 5 of 6, 7 of 8 even, if you try and insert a new part with them going on the road here for 7 of their next 8 games. I don't think you mess with it. I think you try and hope you get good supporting production from the guys around LeBron like they did this weekend. I mentioned the Jokic being stopped by Thomas Bryant. Well, after Anthony Davis went down on Friday, Thomas Bryant went in and played pretty well against Jokic. He had 21 and 6, a season high in points for him. Patrick Beverley came in. He scored 10 points, a season high for him. Yeah, Patrick Beverley's season high is 10 points to this season. Max Christie hit 2 big threes down the stretch in the fourth quarter against Denver. Max Christie is their 2nd round pick, but they like him. He closed against Denver, and then he closed against Washington. Westbrook had a triple-double off the bench. And this is just so much on LeBron just to get all of these guys going. And I think that everybody is playing the good soldier, and you kind of just got to roll with it. And Westbrook was even comfortable leaving the game with 7 minutes left against Washington on Sunday. He was subbed out, and LeBron went with Dennis Schroeder, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, and Thomas Bryant. I mean, who can create there outside of LeBron? It's got to be on LeBron. Austin Reeves did hit a couple big floaters. Yep. Hillbilly Kobe did come through, but they were up 7 on the Wizards with 3 minutes left after a good run, a really good run without Westbrook. And they struggled to finish it, but they ended up winning with a wild play. LeBron at the midcourt line, 15 seconds left, tie game. It's like the entire Wizards team went to LeBron.
Yeah.
They all knew, okay, this is what's happening. So LeBron tried to make a bounce pass. It hits Kyle Kuzma's shin. It's loose. LeBron hustles, grabs it, throws it to Thomas Bryant, who gets a dunk to seal the win for them. I just don't think that you can make a trade. I think they just got to fight and scrap with lineups like Dennis Schroeder, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, and Thomas Bryant to finish games. Thomas Bryant's going to play. You got to hope guys like Lonnie Walker can hit a 3 and just chip in and bide time until Anthony Davis comes back. And I know LeBron's tired of the questions, and maybe he wants a trade to happen, but I don't know. I'm guessing if I'm doing body language doctor, his post-game interview on the floor, and then in the press conference, he was asked about it again. He walked off, and he said to the reporter as he walked off, ask Rob Pelinka those questions. Don't ask me those questions. I've had enough. Maybe he wants a trade, but do you think they can do it, Skeets? Do you think they should and could, like right now in this, I think, really important part where they go 7 of the next 8 on the road? Because I think they're playing fine. They could obviously use a bucket getter, but I think they're going to scrap and hope that AD comes back.
Yeah, the counter to that, I guess, is if they go that route, just play all these. I mean, the names you just named are crazy. That it's like the guys sort of surrounding LeBron, and can he sort of drag them to victories, and can they contribute enough and play a little defense for him and LeBron? But it's like, what about the wear and tear that puts on LeBron? For like, you're basically saying for the next month, you got to do it all, and and doing it all hopefully is like basically play 500 ball, maybe a little bit better to stay within the standings and the play-in races and the playoff races and all that. It's like, does that at this year 20 accumulation, you're asking a little too much. I mean, I don't know what their other options are except lean into here are a bunch of our future first round picks and go get, Turner or Heald with the Westbrook deal or some other pieces. Does it make them more or less likely, AD's injury, to make a move? I asked that on Twitter over the weekend. A lot of people thought it was less likely because it was like, well, it's, then that's like almost the definition of a panic trade, which usually don't work out all that well. But it's whether you believe getting AD back in a month or so and you still have LeBron with those new pieces helps your chances to go deep into a playoffs. I don't know. it probably won't do anything.
Oh, did you ask me a question?
No, I didn't. I think it's like, oddly, when I start talking, it's like you seem to lag or something, because when you're going, it's fine. I'm following along. I'm hearing everything you're saying.
Yeah, because you froze, and then there was some air time there. We were catching some air, and nothing was happening. So I don't know.
Well, it's not freezing on my end, so I guess the stream team
asked on Twitter. I heard that part about whether making a trade, it seems like a panic trade. I just don't think that the chemistry, it's good for the chemistry. The gelling of the team doesn't really seem like you can fit in a guy right here, right now. That's going to be such a key part. That's going to be essentially, hopefully, your third best player, at least in the starting lineup, discounting Westbrook. I will say, I brought up the wishy-washiness of how long AD is going to be out. I know will say AD is always out. He's out for a long time. Maybe it's a good sign that it has sort of been wishy-washy and they don't know exactly how long Anthony Davis is going to be out. Maybe it's shorter. Maybe this weird sort of, I know you're already smirking there. I get it. It's Anthony Davis, but why have they just thrown this month out there when they don't really know exactly what's wrong with his foot? I just feel like they just kind of threw it out there to tell everyone to shut up for a few days. Maybe it's longer, but I don't know. It's just not the most accurate of timelines, I don't think. It's either going to be shorter or it's going to be longer. That's what I have to say.
Okay, it's not going to be a month exactly.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Brutal loss for the Lakers any way you slice it here. He was playing arguably the best basketball of his career. That's the disappointing part for just NBA fans. Obviously for Lakers fans, like AD was averaging like 27 and 12 and up there in terms of like block leaders, like over 2 a game, and shooting 59% from the field. Like he was incredible. So to take him out and replace him with Thomas Bryant and hope that he can just hold down the middle for you. I mean, I don't know. It's bad. And I want to pile on him and be like, oh, the guy's made of glass. And like, here we go again. It's tough not to do that, because at a certain point you're just like, look, availability, come on. It's important. It's a hell of an ability, and you lack in that department. But then it's just like a foot injury, and it's just like, the guy's out there playing basketball. It's like, he got tripped up there, or like caught up with Jokic in the air, and he comes out on the unfortunate end of it. But it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Hey, might open up a slot for the all-star starting forward position in the West. It might basically lock LeBron in to another starting spot in the Western Conference. So I don't know if he's starting alongside Zion or who else, but I doubt we'll at this point see AD starting TAS if you're there. Hold on. Pause. Here he comes. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, did you not hear my question then? Probably.
No.
Oh, okay. Let's just keep going. Let's go to my loser of the weekend. I'll make this quick. The Indiana Pacers, for the first time since early November. I'm talking like basically the first week in November, the Pacers record has dropped below 500. They're 15-16. They lost 2 heartbreakers over the weekend. On Friday night, the Cavs outscored the Pacers 35-18 in the fourth quarter. Holding Indiana without a field goal in like the final 5.5 minutes. So Indy blew a 13-point lead there in that final frame. That's tough. You're playing a great Cavs team, Donovan Mitchell on one. But then on Sunday, they lost to the Knicks there. Back and forth affair, a million lead changes. They had that 6-point lead pretty late. And then Brunson ripped off 5 straight. And they couldn't get it done too. And I bring this all up. Like, it's the Pacers, okay? 15-16 at this point, my God. I would have lost a lot of money. I would have made that bet with you. If you had said, they'll only be 1 game under 500, 31 games in, I'm like, no, they won't. I thought they'd be the worst team in the league. But their issue is, for the 4th time in like the last 5 games, they just come up short in the clutch. They've had a lot of leads with 5 minutes to go, and they just can't seal the deal. Maybe that's being a young team, so you're lacking a little experience there. Having like Halliburton and Mathurin and stuff like that as your guys. Nembhard even getting minutes late. But they've been outscored TAS 75-47 in the last 5 minutes of their last 5 games. And one of those was a win versus the Warriors. So I'm just slipping the Pacers in as a loser of the weekend, just coming back to earth here a little bit, now under 500.
Yeah, that's a good stat right there. Yeah, the Knicks are grinders, and I was surprised to see, the Pacers unable to win that game on Sunday. That was a rough inning.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to a couple other losers of the weekend here. Who you got?
Well, Saturday, this is a bit of a different one, but the Grizzlies were playing the Thunder, and in the first quarter, Morant got a tech for barking at an official. It was a warranted tech.
Sure.
All right. Second quarter, this was strange sight here. OKC's at the free throw line, so we got a stoppage in play. John Morant is talking to somebody in the crowd, but there's a referee in between him and the fans. The referee is standing right there. And so Morant is talking to the fans, but Costa, you got to know his name. The referee is standing there. And this was reported a little bit later on because it was really strange to see what was happening. And then all of a sudden, the broadcast I was watching, you didn't even see what happened at all. And Morant got ejected. And it was very odd. Again, he was talking to a fan. But the report afterwards from a fan who was there, and this makes total sense, Gabe Eichert, the fan, said that the fans were basically talking to Morant. Let's go. They're kind of trying to rile him up. Fans were encouraging him to get going. And then Morant said, basically a quote here, "I'll get going, but the refs need to give me a fucking whistle." And so as soon as Costa heard that, he said, "Even though you're not directing that at me, you're telling me that you're saying out loud that the officials suck. So you're gone." And after the game, he was asked about it, and he said, fans didn't pay to see Ray come to the game. And I had no idea that was Ray Acosta, even though I know basically every referee in the league. But now I do, because John Morant said the fans don't come to see Ray. He was walking off the floor, by the way, when he got ejected, and he was given the heart symbol to the fans there. He said it wasn't, and the fans were, it really was a very cordial discussion between him and the fans, but he did say something about the refs, so I'm not sure how you feel about him being ejected there, Skeets.
Well, I don't think he should have been ejected. I think Ray Acosta should have realized, still, he's talking to the fans. These were Grizzlies fans, by the way, in OKC. Like, they were like cheering for John Morant. Like you said, hey, come on, man, let's get going. And yeah, I guess you could argue he's belittling Acosta by saying, well, this guy won't give me a call, or they will not give me a call. But also, like, I'm sure you've heard a lot worse. Okay. And this is the same official, I believe, that gave out like 1 million texts in the Bucks Warriors game. So yeah, it's a thin skin Acosta here, who just wants to like whistle everybody up. And I think it's a little silly, especially him having one and then you're throwing him out of the game. I mean, look, it was a 20-point game. Who knows what happens, but he is a superstar. People pay a lot of money for those seats and to go see a star like that. And then, yeah, they're not paying to see Ray. So John Morant's right. Did you see after the game there then too, that John Morant from the locker room, or I should say during the game, he literally FaceTimes his dad to then go and take the phone to those fans and say, it wasn't you. It's not your fault or anything like that. And is literally FaceTiming from the locker room with the fans who played a small part in him getting kicked out. Crazy.
Well, that's hilarious. I know he went into the locker room and started tweeting immediately, but I didn't know he FaceTimed. Very funny. Nobody loves Raymond.
Yes, Ray Acosta. Okay, a loser of the weekend there. That John Morant checks that. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, and then we can wrap this up, losers of the weekend. I almost don't even want to do it because what's there to say at this point? I know the stream team has been going nonstop about the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors. Once again, I believe that's 2 weeks running as big losers of the weekend because they're both garbage teams right now, Tass. I don't know who's worse. I don't know who's in a worse spot, who's more likely to make a move here at the deadline. I don't know if you have any thoughts on either of these teams and their weekend performance, because it was not great.
Oh, you're gonna make me talk about them? I will say I think the Raptors are a little bit more surprising that they're playing this poorly defensively, especially like on the game against the Warriors where Poole ridiculously good. He looked so great when he's able to have the touch of going into the lane and throwing it way off the top of the backboard and in, and going into the crowd, into the front row of Jurassic Park, essentially, and calling it his town or whatever he was saying. I mean, he looks great. So I did want to give him a little bit of love, but the Bulls defense you can expect to happen very often. And the way the defense is 2 steps behind, you could see every play coming. You could see the Warriors moving the ball on Sunday night, and you could see how slow the Warriors were. And it doesn't matter if they're playing up against a great center, as you mentioned earlier. But even the more worrisome.
Ooh, Tess, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you, but it's straight Frozen. Maybe your kids are watching Frozen in the other room and your Wi-Fi is getting hit because we've lost you completely. Apologies to everybody joining us here on the stream team. You know, what are you going to do? Technology sometimes just takes a dump. But I don't even know what Tass was saying there. He was going on about the Raps, maybe not so bad, their losses, but the Bulls, 10 steps behind on defense. I mean, to give up 150 is nuts. But we'll see. Like, I know people that are fans of blow it up. Well, here's 2 teams you can have a field day with. Or at least the idea. Tass is back, by the way. These are like pivot points for both these teams this part of the season, though. And what I mean by that is you make a trade to like try and salvage the season and turn it around, and some injection of new players and some new energy and moving maybe where you have too many position players for a different position players or whatever skill you need for your teams to hopefully make a run, whatever that means, play in playoffs, or you lean into this season is a bit of a loss. Let's, in the Bulls case, try and keep our top 4 pick, which is top 4 protected. Otherwise it's going to the Magic. Raptors obviously moving off pieces if they wanted to get another pick to pair with Barnes. Like, this is a hell of a decision for both of these front offices to make. Tass, if you're here and you're hearing me right now. Don't you just miss the days of the Classic Factory? JD had to go to Europe. Had to see the world. I can't blame him. He's gone again. But anyway, I'll talk to you in the stream team here, as I know a lot of you were especially going in on the Bulls, how they need to trade some of, like, it's that one. The Raptors are in a lot more of these games. I think they, obviously haven't traded as much of their future picks and stuff like that too. So they're in a better situation with their war chest of what they've got to move if they want to, or pieces and stuff like that. The Bulls are down very bad right now. I don't see how it's going to get better with this current roster and no Lonzo Ball, in the foreseeable future here to help on the defense end and stuff like that. So it's rough. Everybody's saying Tash should blow up his Wi-Fi.
Hey, say it to my face.
Yeah, blow up your Wi-Fi.
Everybody, yeah, we should blow up my Wi-Fi. It is a weird one. Really weird night here. Yeah, it's rough for me. It's rough for the Raps. The effort level, it's got to come back. It's got to come back someday. Everybody's got to be down. The defense is really worrisome to me.
That I 100% agree with that, because we always knew the Raptors were going to struggle to score. They don't have a lot of shooting. There's not a ton of playmaking. I mean, Van Vliet is an undersized guard. You're hoping the three's on. He'll attack. I get all that. Siakam, sure, amazing to start the season. He's hit a bit of a rough stretch here. He's like fallen into some bad habits, I think, in terms of his shot selection. I feel at the start of the year, he was more like face up, looking at the net, feeling comfortable stepping into that jumper, and has gone back to like this back to the basket, spinny Siakam a little bit. So I don't love that. But anyway, We knew the offense was going to be tough, but you could always count on the Raptors' defense, keeping them in games, winning them a lot of games, being a nightmare. Nobody wants to play them, all this length, all this switchability, and it's not there. I mean, it's not as bad as the Bulls, but it leaves a lot to be desired, and they need a center that can play for them inside. It's bad for both of these teams. It's disappointing because a lot of people were, of course, higher on both these squads.
It stinks. Yeah, they make up for the lack of a center when they're scrapping. They've handled Embiid. I said it earlier. I was frozen, but they've handled Embiid with multiple 6'9" guys because they are that good defensively. But they're in a true rut. Why they're so behind defensively, and then they're getting monster games from some guys. But the Pascal situation is odd, I think, offensively too. But man, there's really no answers. It's got to come. It's got to come from within to play defense. But yeah, that's the more strange part. The strange part, rather than the offense.
Yeah, they're missing their best defender. We get that in OG, but that shouldn't mean they just fall off a cliff here. And they were not like elite even with OG in there. It's I don't know if it's because of their makeup of their team and Nurse the way he wants his defense to operate, that it wasn't matching or whatever, or why the effort's not there. Are they pointing fingers? Are the rumors even with this team surrounding this Raptors team about like, oh, they got to make a move. They got to make a move. Is that getting to these guys? I don't know. But I'm just happy Trey's not here to say that the Raptors should make a trade for Vucevic. I am happy he's in Chicago with his family for the holidays, and I don't need to hear him try and convince me that the Raptors should make a move for Vucevic. That I'm happy about. And on that note, let's take our final break. When we come back, pick 'em results from Friday night, and we got a fun tweet of the night. Don't go anywhere.
I live in Atlanta, but I like watching the Toronto Raptors and Toronto Blue Jays play. And that used to be a big pain for me because they don't show the games here. It doesn't happen. But this season, I discovered an amazing trick that's let me watch every single NBA and MLB game live for a fraction of the normal cost. It's called ExpressVPN. Here's how it works. The NBA offers NBA League Pass, which lets you stream games online. But if you live in the US or Canada, it doesn't let you watch all of them. Some games are blacked out. Even for us, we get the blacked out blues with our passes as well. It happens. It happens to us. So what do? Fire up ExpressVPN and use it to change your location to a different country. Buy and use the NBA League Pass from there, and boom, no blackouts. What a hack. And depending on the country, NBA League Pass could cost less than $15 for a whole year. ExpressVPN works on your computer, phone, router, and consoles like Fire TV, so you can watch all the games from any device. Even when you're not watching NBA, you can use ExpressVPN all the time for stuff like Netflix or Disney Plus to access thousands of extra shows that are only on other countries' libraries. Enjoy all 1,230 games of the NBA season in HD with the world's most trusted VPN, ExpressVPN. And you can use our special link today to get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/nodunks. Then you can use ExpressVPN to sign up for NBA League Pass at a huge discount. That's expressvpn.com/nodunks for 3 months free with a 1-year package. expressvpn.com/nodunks.
With the bustling holiday season well underway, ready-to-eat meal delivery can lend a helping hand. Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers to your door so you can enjoy chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals during the holiday minus the hassle. Plus, with 34 meals per week, including Gourmet Plus, Keto, Calorie Smart, Vegan Plus Veggie, and 36 plus weekly add-ons, you'll have plenty of nutritious, flavorful options to choose from. Holidays are jam-packed, but luckily Factor's fresh, never-frozen meals make it easy to fuel up fast when you're on the go. You can save time with meals delivered ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. Factor now offers 34 meals per week and 36 plus add-on options like smoothies, juices, snacks, and more to keep you going no matter what you've got going on. Factor is cheaper than dining out and takeout. Put the money you save towards holiday fun and you time And thanks to Factor's commitment to ingredients with integrity, you can enjoy flavorful, chef-crafted meals guilt-free, like their creamy Parmesan chicken and 3-bean vegan chili. Need a special occasion meal? Gourmet Plus is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options done easy. When things get hectic during the holidays, Factor's flexible. Change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. Stress less over meal times this holiday season. Factor's no prep, no mess meals free up time otherwise spent shopping, cooking, and doing cleanup, so you can fully enjoy the holidays without wasting hours in the kitchen. Not only does Factor offer fast, simple solutions for when you're too busy to cook, they also help you stay on top of your goals. With offerings like Protein Plus and Keto, you can stay on track, which will definitely come in handy during the holidays. Factor has everything you need for a week of flavorful, nutritious eats. In addition to ready-to-eat meals, they've got cold-pressed juices, delicious smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep you energized during these frantic holiday times. Head to go.factor75.com/NoDunk60 and use code NoDunk60 to get 60% off your first box. That's code NoDunk60 at go.factor75.com/NoDunk60 to get 60% off your first box.
All right, let's start wrapping this up. Excuse me. We sent Tass to the showers early, him and his shitty Wi-Fi. We don't know what's going on. And we've subbed in Jerome here, who's producing this and is going to have to stitch this together and somehow
we're
going
to have to figure this out. Even Portugal had to bench Ronaldo. So it's you have to make the tough calls sometimes, but we have one C block to get through and we'll get through this.
That's exactly right. No problem. I love this comment here in the stream though. Stream team from Catatonic 1. I don't think Tass is going to watch any NBA on League Pass today. Could be difficult.
It's a day where we might not blame the app.
Yes. That's good. It's a good point. That's a good point. All right. I also liked everybody during that break trying to figure out, especially when we were talking about the Raptors and the Bulls, when does it go from a rut to a ditch that your team is in? And then when does it go from a ditch to a shallow grave? And then I would say, when does it go from a shallow grave just to 6 feet under? Rest in peace. That's the season. I like that. Rut to ditch to shallow grave to deceased.
Ruts and ditches, I think, need to occur around the trade deadline, and
Yes.
then graves are off season. Like that is.
Oh.
I think that's where that happens because that's when we're able to like really hold funerals, really start anew. For those religiously inclined, I guess Easter could be our grave where we find our
it's the end of the
resurrection.
season. Works out well.
There
I mean,
it
people
goes.
were saying that the Wizards are like in a shallow grave right now, which, I'm not going to argue. It's like you're in a match versus like Undertaker at like a SummerSlam or something like that. He's got you in like the fake grave. He hasn't put the dirt on you yet, but you're in there. All right, great. Pick 'em results. Friday night, very quickly. I had the Blazers. Tass had the Blazers. L for us. Trey had the Mavericks. They had to cover 3.5 points, and they did. That was a big blowout victory for the Mavs. So tonight's game, and this is fun, Jerome is filling in for Trey all week long. You are making picks for TK.
I'm feeling power hungry, apparently. Yeah. I'm replacing JD's head. I'm taking over for Tass. I'm picking for Trey. It's asking a lot for Monday.
Tomorrow's show will just be a one-man Jerome show. I mean, I'm just going to take the rest of the week off at this point. We're showing everybody here on YouTube, but for you podcast listeners, tonight's game, it's the Bucks Pelicans. Tass was teasing it earlier. Hopefully you caught that part of Tass talking. Milwaukee, they're the favorites here by 1.5 on the road. But myself and Jerome acting as Trey, taking the Pels with that point to play. Tass taking the Bucks with Ingles coming back. I think that's got Tass pumped up. Any reasoning, Jerome, that you're taking the Pels?
Well, this is my first pick 'em, so I think there's like a little strategy going on. I feel like I need to keep lined up with you.
Okay.
We go in the same direction.
Sure.
But also at the same time too, the Pels are playing at home, and you gotta love a Pels at home right now.
Got the great home crowd.
So looking at their last 5 games, like not the best road team, but home is where it's at, and they've been surprising some big teams. Like we already know what happened with the Suns, and I don't know. I think they could surprise the Bucks here.
Should be a good one, and we'll hopefully have Task back tomorrow to talk about it on the No Dunks podcast here and live on YouTube. At least doing this right now, you jumping on, has confirmed that it's not on my end, or I believe on your end, because this seems pretty flawless. So.
I think, no, I'm hearing what you're saying. You're hearing what I'm saying. Yes. We can see each other pretty clearly. We're hoping the stream team can see us just as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we think we've at least we're 100% convinced of the
live
issue.
Troubleshooting right now.
yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Because I tweeted it and I wanted to slip it into today's show. That's the only reason, really. Tyrese Halliburton last night, once again rocking the Home Alone shoes. You see Kevin there on the side. I love the newspaper Wet Bandits escape.
It's a good teaser to the other side because
exactly, and I think we have a photo of that too. We're showing everyone here, if you're listening to the podcast, Halliburton's kicks. Home Alone. I mean, this nice baby blue with incredible portraits of Kevin on one side and then the Wet Bandits themselves on the other side. What do you think of these, Jerome? You a fan of this?
I mean, it's speaking exactly to our generation of like millennial, late millennial. Home Alone 2, classic Christmas film. We were discussing pre-show, how much does Tyrese Halliburton really know about Home Alone 2 and its references?
It's such a classic film.
It's a classic.
There's no doubt he has watched it and is aware of it. But he did not. Like, how old is he? I mean,
we read he was born 8 years after its release. Is that right?
I think that's correct. Yeah. Which sounds insane to say out loud because Home Alone doesn't feel that old to me. Like that.
No, yeah,
because it's timeless. I guess.
Yeah, and I was thinking like if he continues this tradition of Home Alone shoes around Christmas, we need a beat reporter inside the locker room interviewing him with one of these.
Oh, with the talk boy. That's
with
a great
the talk
call.
Boy. I think that's key at that point. And then if they can, if anyone remembers the talk boy, change the pitch afterward for any of the interviews. Either have him talk really slow motion or like a chipmunk. I think that would be great.
Wow. Now here's the way we test his actual knowledge of Home Alone. Somebody shows up with that in the scrum after the game and just see what he does.
Right.
My gut says he doesn't do anything. I don't even think he realizes it's a talk boy from the reference to the movie. I think.
Well, I'm just thinking, just because working on the production and knowing the boom mics, what a wonderful visual to have someone's hand reaching all the way in front of everyone with this handheld device that records on a cassette. If we can even find those anymore.
I love it. I mean, people are making fun of me here, Squarehead, that Home Alone. This is blowing my mind. I'm not gonna lie. Home Alone is over 30 years old. Yeah. That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. No, I was out this weekend with some friends at a throwback night, and we're talking 2010s as our throwbacks.
Yeah. We're old. You're right, Squarehead. We're old. But somebody also saying they've never seen Home Alone. That's amazing. Ooh. I mean, I don't have a lot of Christmas movies I have to see every year, but put me down for a Home Alone viewing. It's a great rewatch still.
It's a good back-to-back,
Oh, it's good. And you love Home Alone 2, you said.
I'm a big Home Alone 2 person. It is really weird to... Well, I think it's, again, the talk boy and all those, added elements, really hit back on the nostalgia. It is weird that there is that one scene that Donald Trump just shows up.
Yeah.
I think CBC here in Canada actually cut it out. Which is pretty incredible if they actually did that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Or is that just an urban legend going around that they've cut it out?
Someone will have to do the research for us because it's not us.
No. We got a lot more on our plate, as you can tell. Yeah. In fact, we're going to call it there. That is Tweet of the Night. That's the Monday edition of the No Dunks podcast. Apologies to everyone joining us live here on YouTube or watching later on YouTube. Look, it happens from time to time. We haven't been in the yard here in a while, so we're having some Wi-Fi connections there with Tass, but we'll try and figure it out tomorrow. And, Jerome's just got to now put in 10 hours of work to make this a flawless podcast. All you podcast listeners are going to be like, what's the big deal? It sounds perfect. So good luck with that, Jerome.
Thank you so much.
And we will see everybody tomorrow live at 10 a.m. Eastern. So join us then on YouTube. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Leave us your 5-star ratings and reviews if you're a podcast listener. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
I mean, Jerome, you've done everything here today. Do you have a final quote to play the role of Tass?
Yeah. May your Wi-Fi be strong. May your Ethernet cables be hardwired in. And hopefully we see Tass tomorrow.
There it is. Embrace the day, people.